So again, I have to mention that, when you do have this sort of styles of electing chief ministers from the majority of the party that wins, it can be a little bit of a conflict of interest in a sense, because not everybody can be so straight about their duties and not being affected. You want to be elected, you need to have the support of your parties, you see, and your parties will have a vested interest in the chief minister. So that is something that, we can actually look into more in that sense, you see. So yeah, I mean, so here we say that, okay, election, and then the functions of the cabinet member, and then what they do, and then these are the lineup, from the state Yang di-Pertuan Agong, then you have the this is basically for the Malaysian government structure in that sense, okay. And yeah, I mean, this part of the understanding is for the state. Overall, this one is for the whole. I mean, this part here, Yang di-Pertuan Agong as a head of Malaysian state. So this figure here is to again reiterate the overall systems, Malaysian the systems of having written law and where it comes from. You see, so I hope you can understand that. Okay, and this is like an organization structure for the whole Malaysia. So you've got to have legislature, which is the parliament, and then you've got the executive, which is the prime minister and the ministers, and all that. And then you have the judicial systems, which is the Supreme Court, High Court, and all that. Okay, so this is how the organization structure of the Malaysian legal systems are being created. This is the basis, of how everybody is functioning within the Malaysian legal system. Like I said, Malaysia is a mixed legal systems with common laws. Okay, so it's not a full common law system. So you do have other laws that come into the picture. And so who make the law? These are the part of the lecture that we describe on who are the lawmakers, you see, how the lawmakers will be actually creating all the written laws, plus the court will be doing some of the written and unwritten law, especially with case laws and all that. So this one is a combination of how the law of Malaysia are being made, see. And then the next piece of information that I will finish up with will be the Constitution of Malaysia. Okay, so basically, the original draft of the Constitution of Federation of Malaya is written by Lord Reed, because we are under British colonization. So when in the very beginning part, the Constitution of Malaysia will take effect on the 31st of August 1957, which is the independence of the Persekutuan Tanah Melayu. The Persekutuan Tanah Melayu, correct. Okay, so then after that, Sarawak and Sabah and Singapore joined, and Singapore actually left. So we become the Federation of Malaysia, Malaysia 1963. So there's three important branch. There's some important branch here that is part of the Constitution of Malaysia, which is the Parliament. Okay, and then the second part is the executive branch, which is the Prime Minister and his cabinet, and the judicial branch, which is headed by the Federal Court. So these three branches will is the core of the Constitution of Malaysia. So this is like, if you think of Constitution of Malaysia as the supreme law, these are the three components of the lawmaker. Mainly legislature and also judicial branch will make the law, and the executive branch is in the form of execution, in that sense, to uphold the law for the people. You see, so overall they are all related to one another, and they are very tightly linked with one another. So they are the three core themes of the Constitution of Malaysia. So Constitution is actually the supreme law of the federation. And these are maybe we can say this is the basic, the beginning of all the laws in Malaysia. So the Constitution of Malaysia stipulates that the Constitution is the supreme law, and any law passed after 1957 that is inconsistent with the Constitution, it will be void. Okay, so it also stipulates the government or the monarch is elected. So these are some of the basic. It's like Constitution of Malaysia is the foundation of the whole legal framework, and this legal framework, they have already started this legal framework. So what is the duties of the legislature? What are the duties and responsibilities of the executive branch, which is the prime ministers and the cabinet? And of course, the state also have the state executive branch as well, which is the Menteri Besar for the chief ministers. Okay, and then the judicial branch. So this will list out their duties, their responsibilities, and how they functions and all that. So anything that is inconsistent with that will be considered as void. So the thing is, why is it that it is supreme law? So supreme law is the highest law, so no one can overrule it, you see. So it also states that any law passed under that is inconsistent shall be null and void. And then, like I said, it stipulates the duties, it forms the basis of all the legal systems, the legislation, the courts, or even the administrative of these legal systems is actually from the constitutions of Malaysia. So constitution would be like the foundation. So Constitution of Malaysia have 15 parts, 13 schedules, which comprise of 230 articles. Okay, and the reason why amendments are made to the Constitution will be discussed later on. Okay, so we have to identify these are the parts in the Constitution of Malaysia. So you can go through that: state, religion, law, citizens, federation, relation to federal and state, public services, rules, sovereign rules and all that. So any amendments, so this part of the notes is about amendment. So let me stop here so that we can have a clear clear recording on the amendments to the Constitution. Okay.